Welcome to the Can't Make This Up channel. I'm your host, DOV. Make sure you like and subscribe because at 250K I'm going to be doing a face reveal. If you do enjoy this channel, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video because today is our debut. Let me know what you think about the channel. Let me know what you think about everything, how this thing's set up. We're going to be making some big moves here, alright? Alright. Today, we got a pretty sad one for you. Alright? Like, this is every dad's nightmare. Listen, I'm not a father, okay? But I can imagine this is what every dad would have nightmares of. And it's a dad and a daughter discussing OnlyFans. And the reason I bring up this video as the first video in my entire YouTube channel is because it gives us something to talk about. It gives us something to talk about in today's generation, in today's day and age. It gives me an outlet to speak on my opinions, and I want to kind of give a bit more of a unique perspective on this because I think a lot of people would say a bunch of the same thing. But let's just get into it, man.
Listen, was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I'm going to tell you something. Promise you won't get mad. And I was like, just stop right there. First of all, I'm never going to make a promise like that because I might get mad. And second of all, let's just have the conversation on the show. And you were like, not so sure you want to do that.
I think it'll be helpful for other people to listen to because I know the difference in our relationship versus the mass majority and the reaction most people would get, I feel like.
You see how she frames the conversation? You see how she sets the father up for, if you react a certain way, then you are just like everybody else. When in reality, it's the father's imperative to want to protect their child. It's the father's imperative to want to, not let the child endorse weird behavior from other men. And putting yourself online, making a paywall for even a lewd picture, even like not even like actual, content, but just even bikini photos, little things like that. If you're putting that behind a paywall, there's something. There's something of value per se. And I put the quote, I put the little, quotes over it because really, how much value does it carry? Like, the amount of value it carries is how much that girl is willing to put on, behind the paywall. And most of the times, it's not much. It's not much, and it's sad. It's sad how these women put themselves online. It's sad how they don't value themselves, and it really speaks on these women's self-esteem. It really speaks on how near impossible it is to get somebody that values their self and has some self-respect in today's generation, especially women. Like, they grow up with all these things telling them that they need to be pretty and whatnot, and it's not that bad. Like, I mean, I'm not a woman myself, but if you're getting all that attention, if you're getting all this, like, natural instinct would tell you, like, hey, let's be careful about who we let into our lives. But nowadays, we're really pushing for people to put away that natural instinct and just go out there, experiment, do all this dumb stuff because of course it won't affect you in the future. It totally won't affect you in the future. My ass.
And it can create toxicity. And I feel like you're going to have your own opinions, and that's what I'm also here to listen to, is also hear you out and hear your opinions. But I feel like you're going to have a healthier reaction than most parents might, and it could be helpful for other people to listen to, including parents.
Are you moving out of state? Oh, God.
He wishes.
Statement.
It's not offensive. So I've kind of joked about it before starting an OnlyFans.
Right there. Did you see that? He closed his eyes. And in that moment where he closed his eyes, that is when his soul, his heart, and his brain just all dropped. His soul has been taken out of his body and just it's gone. It was yanked. It was snatched. Why? Because of his daughter wanting to sell some, like, genuinely, do you think I would have found this video if it wasn't as viral? If it wasn't so viral? And like, how much money do you think they make off this podcast? Like, maybe enough. And you see the setup, so it's like it's enough to accommodate that woman. It's enough to accommodate his daughter. So what does his daughter need to make an OnlyFans for? I mean, you let me know in the comments if you think, like, extra money. Like, a lot of women would like to brag about how they're so emotionally, like empaths. They're emotionally, how do they say it? Like, emotional intelligence, right? That's the term for it. So if you're emotionally intelligent, then realistically, you're going to think about how it's going to make other people feel when you take these kind of actions, when you make these decisions in your life without even confronting other people on whether or not it's a good idea. None of these women who preach emotional intelligence ever think about that. They never think about how their actions are going to affect other people. They never think about how their actions are going to affect the future. And they never think about pretty much other people in general. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to this, but ultimately, you can't expect that out of a woman. Any type of reciprocation, you cannot expect that of a woman, because it's just not there. It's just not how their brains are wired. You can see this with home math on his little levels, his levels of thinking, right? Go watch that video. I recommend to watch that video. He lays it down perfectly. And it's levels of thinking that these women cannot get through because of the fact that people in society have treated them like angels their whole lives, except a certain amount of people. It like depends on the girl, of course, but outside of people who have disciplined them in their family, everybody treats them like angels. Society treats them like angels. So what does that come with? Entitlement. Let's just keep going.
But it's also not what you think either. I would be taking a more model route in that way. But I also do feel like we obviously have a little bit of a presence together, so I want to get your opinions and thoughts, and I also want to tell you, but I also feel like I have assets that I could
Assets.
Do you suffer from a lack of a father figure?
Now, assets. That's how these women describe themselves nowadays. That's sorry. It's making me sick. It's making me sick to my stomach. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, women just objectify themselves. We don't have to even do it. Like, because if you want to stop getting objectified, it's your responsibility. Everything in this world is your responsibility. As a man, we learn that way earlier than women do, which is why I would argue men mature faster than women. Even though women hit puberty per se, the decision making in a man is wired way different because of just how our upbringing is, how like so many different factors that go into a man's life versus a woman's life. And we are put under the expectation of doing hard work, providing for the world. Women are put under the expectation that they'll provide a child, or they'll, like provide security, nurture. And I think in reality, it's in a man's nature to want to bring these to women. It's just there's a lot of things in society nowadays that are making men less incentivized to even want to do this. There's so many things that are distracting us as men that, like make us think that, oh, the first girl that I meet, I'm gonna have to marry and do all this shit, like, because all women are good and whatnot. And I mean, you mostly get this idea from single mothers. Like, if you grow up with a single mother, if you raised by a single mother, she's gonna put that impression on you that like all women are gold, and not many times do mothers actually tell you like, oh, you know, that girl's bad for you, or oh, like this is how a woman should treat you. No, it's never like that. It's never like that. But is that woman's fault? I mean, in some sort of way, you could say it's men's fault too, but ultimately we're talking about women here. And my whole point is we grow up as men a little bit more mature in our decision making, a little bit more rational in our decision making. By rational, I mean we think a bit more about the future. We think about how our actions affect other people just a tad bit more. I mean, can't say like, think about the consumerism market. Like, imagine how many women consume, you know, like mobile video games. How many women spend money on mobile video games, and like, it's a lot of things to. I think a lot of men inherently know these kind of things in their soul. It's just no guy ever goes out to study this kind of shit. No guy ever like, because like I said, men are more logical. If we know something in the back of our head, we don't really need to go out of our way to want to prove it, because most guys that are secure don't really want to prove anything to you. So it's like, anyway, let's just keep going on the video.
Capitalize on. And I'm a businesswoman. You taught me to be a businesswoman. And I have my boundaries as well as my own adult. There are a lot of things that I won't do, but there's also, you know, some modeling I would love to do anyway. There's that.
First and foremost,
There's that.
you know, I love you. I respect you. I've raised you to be independent, to be, like you said, to be business minded, to be logical.
Dad is cucked out. Pops is cucked out, officially cucked out.
And I guess the biggest thing is you being safe. Like,
And I mean, yeah, that's the biggest thing for all fathers, but there's also a like, as much as a man doesn't control a woman, as much as a woman has their own free will, there can be a level of disrespect that is taken from this kind of action in terms of your daughter. Like, say, like if you respect your daughter with every single action that she decides to take, then there is no risk of disappointment. There is no risk of a consequence, especially coming from you, from a family member. I think ultimately, if you want to raise a good kid, you have to use that as leverage for them to do what is right in the world. If you don't do that and use that as leverage and use that kind of father figure aspect, no matter what, your kids are going to look up to you in some sort of way. So you have to set the example. You have to, like, look at this guy. I mean, like, not to say he's like super fat or anything like that, but he's not in the position that it looks like to have his authority be taken seriously. If we look at this guy, I mean, like, he's probably spoiling the shit out of his daughter, and it's doing that by like, oh, hey, Dad, I want to make a podcast. Like, you think it was the dad's idea? I don't know. But you guys let me know in the comments.
having a daughter already, knowing that you're highly likely to be assaulted or hit or groped or something like that, that's already on a father's mind when he's a girl. So there's that protection part of me that's like, I don't want you to be opened up to even more people stalking or chasing you or doing stuff, because I have bail money. Like, I'm willing to straight up go to prison.
I know. That's
already a
And if you're willing to do that for your daughter, then you'd want to at least raise her to be less of a liability to yourself. But I mean, I digress.
Problem that we have to deal with, and then on top of that, you being like, oh, here's a booby. Now, just a booby. A lot of what I'm feeling is like protection.
Yes,
I
a
want you to
booby.
do something that's going to make
An asset.
something harder on you later in life. Like, when I was 19, I thought I was going to be one thing, and my life completely went in a different direction. What if when you're 37 you decide to run for president or run for some kind of office, or you want to be taken seriously as an actor.
You really think this girl's gonna run for president? You let me know.
In some major, or you want to be an outspoken, activist in a certain thing, and this comes back to haunt you. Maybe society will grow up and that kind of stuff won't.
Society doesn't have to grow up. Do you understand how bad pornography is for your brain, especially when you're paying for it? The amount of houses that has broken down because of pornography, like, it is not good for the world. It is not contributing to society whatsoever. Not a single bit of it is contributing to society. Back then, maybe it was just like, dad's trying to ease the edge off of some shit, but like nowadays you can access it even as like a fucking 6-year-old dude. That is not good for society. They'd probably argue like, oh yeah, like you could make it over 18, like, and put like ID walls and shit behind it. People are still going to find a way. This is the internet. We have gone past a turning point. It is too late. It is already out there. There's too much bullshit. The most lucrative markets are the most fucked up ones, buddy. So why do you think, oh man, pornography is bad? That's my stance. Easy.
Affect you negatively, but I'm concerned with your safety. I'm concerned with your future, and I don't want you to do anything that's going to harm future you. My fear is that you would do something now, get money now, and then when you're in your 40s, you look back on it and go, man, I really had an opportunity to do something bigger with my life. And because that stuff exists on the internet, now I'm prohibited or restricted in some other aspect of my life. I raise you to respect yourself and to be safe. And I mean, you're a grown woman. You're going to do what you're going to do. Doesn't feel great. But I love you and I respect you, and if that's what you want to do, then I mean, I support you.
It's cucked out.
And whatever you want to do, I just really want you to be careful.
Well, that's why I have
everything that I
boundaries.
just said, not only your safety, but your future opportunities. Like, if you're going to do something like that, to do it in a way that's classy and respectful of who you are, and not ruining future opportunities.
Yeah, and that's where like I have my boundaries.
I don't own you. I don't control you. You're not mine, but I care so deeply about you. Like, there's not another single human on this planet that I care to protect more than you. And so it's just a safety. I appreciate you telling me.
Yeah.
And us talking about it. I'm glad we're close enough.
It's cucked out.
I'd rather than
it's not up to me. You know what I mean? You don't need my approval or blessing. I mean, I trust you to handle yourself. Like, my job as your parent is to teach you how to live without me. Like, I know that sounds morbid and screwed up, but I don't want to be on my deathbed in my 90s and having you being like, Dad, don't leave. I don't know how to do taxes. I'm like,
dude,
I want you to be like, I got this. Let go. You're fine. I want to peacefully,
it's already too late for that, man.
Pass into my death knowing that you're going to be fine. So I've given you those tools up to this point for you to just handle your business.
A lot of people are going to feel like this is like because I don't respect myself. And I feel like the one thing that
That's exactly why you're doing it.
I do want to make clear is that this is because I respect myself.
Cope.
I want to just do it the fastest way possible so I have more time to do things like rescues and charities and help my family and my friends that need help.
So this is really my fault because I failed to become a billionaire.
Absolutely your fault. Absolutely.
Before you became an adult.
You notice how the smile got wiped the fuck off his face as soon as she said absolutely? Hold on. Rewind that.
Billionaire.
Absolutely your fault. Absolutely.
You look at his face, he's not even smiling anymore. Now that's just like straight anger, resentment. Like, look at his face, dude. That is upsetting.
Or you, because I failed to become a billionaire.
Absolutely your fault. Absolutely.
Before you became an adult. If I'd been a billionaire, you'd be like, there's no point.
You didn't realize that your child was going to be just like money hungry and business drawn.
I wonder what business she has other than selling her body online.
Well, there you go, dads.
And here I am.
Go get your bag so that your daughter doesn't have to. you have to know that whatever you're about to do has a timeline.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a shelf life, is what we would call it in the industry.
Bonus.
Well, no, it's going to end.
A bonus is
It can't be
crazy.
like, oh, I made all this money this month. It's going to be like this for the rest of my life.
No.
You have, please promise me that you're going to put back money,
Of
that you're going to
course.
save, that you're going to
Of
invest.
course.
I have a financial planner, an advisor you can talk to.
I have.
This dude has enough money for a financial planner, and she's out here just like, Dad, you're not making enough money. You gotta donate to more charities and save the world. Cause totally.
I have a financial business advisor who already wants to help me, and I know I'm gonna invest and save, and also I
Good.
want to get into stocks too.
Okay.
And I'm gonna with
You want to get into the stock?
and I'm getting jealous of all the money.
I want to buy a house too. Maybe I'll start OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's not a house you're in. I mean,
Is there OnlyMans?
Dad.
Can I be OnlyMans?
Oh my god.
Let me know, ladies
Only man.
or dudes.
the ladies do not give a shit.
You did not just say only man.
Would you sign up for that? Look at that. Bam.
Mans.
Look at that.
You did not
Look,
just say only.
look at that. Wait, hold up. Bam. $5.
Did you see what I say? Did you see what I say about him needing to, take his life a little bit more seriously? Because this is exactly where it's going to end up. I mean, come on, dude. Like, come on. We got to get our shit up, man. It is a necessity. We are the defenders. We are the hunter gatherers. I believe in that kind of mindset. And if you're really worried about the safety of your daughter, then I think, we have to step our shit up. We have to get in the gym, show our daughters how to eat right, how to make the correct food, and what nutrients to look for, what deficiencies that we might have, things like that. Get their strength up, because there are so many women out there that get assaulted on a daily basis, not because they were wearing some shit like that. I mean, it's that's what I mean. I mean, porn, it's contributing to that. It's contributing to the mindset of objectifying somebody. And when you objectify somebody, it makes you think less of that person, makes you want to have them as a possession. And even Ted Bundy said this. You kill somebody because it's that's the only thing that person will experience of you that is that is an exclusive experience. And so many people that objectify others, they don't see you as human anymore. They're going to want to, you're having your daughter contribute to that kind of mindset. You're having your daughter endorse that. And if you were really about her safety, this would be discussed. There is morals behind this shit. Morals exist in real life, dude. We can't just be accepting every single thing that comes across. It's not okay. It really is not. And if we really are serious about the safety of our children, the safety of our daughters, the safety of just the youth in general, we're not letting them do this shit, man. It's not helping society. You're just letting your kid become a liability. What is that, dude? Seriously. This is some grade A bullshit. But whatever. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to change this guy's mind. Whatever has gone on in their life to make this become the outcome, I feel sorry for the father. I don't know the whole story, so I can't professionally and accurately comment on the situation. But I will say it is disgusting. I will say it is gross. The acceptance, the playing along that this father does But I mean, we're gonna leave the video there. I've discussed enough. Just leave a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Is the father in the right? Is, you know, the daughter a degenerate who's spoiled? And like, I won't know everything, but I'm sure if you go on their TikTok channel and you go through everything, it might spell out just a small picture of what to see, or what there is to see of their past, what there is to see of why this has become the outcome. But anyways, I hope y'all have a good day. See ya. Peace.